Hi friends, I'm Gary West, and whether you find Augustine's Pizza at your local grocery store or at their restaurant in Newcastle, the folks at Augustine's Pizza hope that their pizza is always your first choice for any and all occasions.
It could be you, it could be me, it could be everything we see. Given the day, given the time, given the moment. It could be you, it could be me, it could be everything we see. Given the day, given the time, given the moment. Some of it comes.
Don't lie around like the winter snow.
Bring in to NCTV45.
Hi, welcome to Focus NC on NCTV45. This is host Matthew Geiger, joining us with Mr. DeCola from Zambelli Fireworks. And as you can see, we have a bomb in the studio.
Not active, but
no, not active.
a nice visual of what they really look like. So
Yeah, it doesn't look so flashy when you have it holding here, now does it?
yeah.
Now,
yeah.
I understand that you're the project manager.
That's correct.
Now,
That's correct.
And this weekend we just had the fireworks festival. You want to tell us a little bit about how Zambelli's was involved in that?
Yeah, it's one of those things that we've done for years. Obviously, you know, we alternate. Zambelli alternates and does it every other year. We're definitely very proud to be involved. It's a great thing for the community, especially after the 4th of July, to have that big event and a big festival to kind of celebrate fireworks in general. We put together a great show. There's a lot of planning involved in choreography and show design. So we have Michael Richards of our staff, as well as Paul Wilson, who did a lot of the show design, just to put together a lot of new and unique, different types of effects, different types of products that we hope that the community will appreciate, and of course, towards the end, the loud finale and the salutes at the end that are certainly going to provide that extra boom at the end of the show. So it's a really nice event. We're very proud to be part of it.
Okay, so let me ask you something. You said design.
Show design.
What is involved in the show design?
The show design, basically what you're doing is you're looking to put together a nice music soundtrack that's going to just have a bunch of different types of music that fit the theme for the type of event that we're doing. And so our choreographers come up with a lot of nice selections, maybe some with a fast pace, some with a slow pace, just to sort of change the overall visual of the fireworks and frequency. And basically what they'll do is they'll spend probably about 3 to 4 hours per minute of show designing and putting different colors, different types of effects.
3 to 4 hours?
3 to 4 hours per minute of show duration.
Wow, that's...
just to make sure that everything is hitting exactly where we want it, so that it's right with the music. And it certainly provides a little more rhyme to the reason as far as fireworks go.
Okay, and so when we see it, it's not just like, oh, we're going to shoot off a bunch of fireworks at home and load it. You've got to coordinate the music,
right,
come up with it, and
right.
So obviously,
right, a lot of production involved, a lot more behind the scenes than people are aware.
Okay,
especially just even at our plant, just the whole packing of the show and just deciding what types of effects we're going to use and how they're going to blend in with the musical choreography. It's definitely something that takes a lot more time than people are aware. Even just the setup of the show itself is, a full day long, sometimes 2 days, depending on the size of the show,
okay.
To get everything prepared and set up so that it's safe. Zambelli does a great job of staffing each show so that we can get everything done timely. Get the show set up and ready to go, so that nothing misses a beat.
Okay, and so what are some big shows that you guys are doing around here?
Big shows, well, you know, locally, obviously, you know, which tends to be a large focus after the 4th. We do a lot of local community productions, fireworks festivals, shows of that nature. You know, we try to highlight a lot of different programs just even around the Pittsburgh area, because obviously the local community is very important.
Yeah.
We want to spread the Zambelli name and obviously,
you know, while we're on the subject, Zambelli's is Newcastle, is it not?
Zambelli is Newcastle. From start until present, you know, we have probably 30 to 40 full-time employees that are either from or residing in Newcastle. Seasonal employees, probably 300 to 400, maybe even 500, just actual members of the community of Newcastle that are coming together to either drive or shoot or help produce, labor-wise. So it's almost like when you think about it, and especially in downtown and surrounding areas of Newcastle, there's so many people that are involved, that know the name, that have been there actively working. Almost every neighborhood knows somebody that's either has worked or currently works at Zambelli, and we try. That's very prideful for us. We like to keep, you know, being a solid member of the community and really keeping people involved where possible. We're always trying to grow. So.
Well, I know Zambelli started in Newcastle, so.
Yeah, George Zambelli Senior.
He worked in a tin factory to just get the money to start the business.
Definitely a long tenured history for George Senior. He's the foundation of our company. Everybody at Zambelli is just, you know, it's very. It's a proud legacy that he started, and that we try to keep going, just as he would want things to go, because it certainly was a wonderful foundation that he built here in Newcastle.
Yeah, and we never want to see it leave New. I think the firework capital of America, right? They might
fireworks capital.
They might have a few more in China, but
fireworks capital of the world. We like to say, because you know, I mean, how many times do you have? At one point, there were 3 companies in Newcastle. I mean, it's really nice to have that. You know,
have we lost one of the companies?
Well, I think years back there was a third. You know, obviously now there's
the big
Zambelli Fireworks. There's the big 2, Zambelli Fireworks and Pyrotechnica.
Okay. Well, you know, I used to say, you know, the big 3. You know, Detroit has their big 3 auto, and Newcastle had their big 3.
Yeah.
Their big 3 fireworks. So you know, that's a pretty cool. I think people get more excited about the fireworks, though.
They sure do. Yeah, it's a very exciting. You can see already just around town. You know, and as we saw the preparations for the fireworks festival, I mean, it's a big deal in the city. So downtown, it's hustling and bustling, and I know everybody's really anticipating the fireworks, and it looks like we're going to get, you know, obviously some great weather.
Yeah, and hopefully I know we've had some. Well, we got to take a break and hear from some of our local sponsors who, you know, keep us going. Before we go, though, what exactly is this thing I'm holding?
This would be a cylinder shell. This would be a 5-inch cylinder shell, and essentially what it's gonna comprise of obviously the lift charge and a couple different types of shell breaks. So it's really a unique shell. You'll have a lot going off, and it's.
Do I just light this in?
You would normally just light that in,
okay.
yes. And as
Should
soon as
I
you
not
light
do
it,
this inside?
As soon as you light it, it's gonna go off. So
Okay.
Not this one in particular.
Okay.
It's not live. So.
Oh, okay. I heard people were shooting them off like this and this across the country. Don't do that.
Yes, not on the head. Not on the head, and keep your fingers clear of all fireworks.
Yes, this is dangerous.
Leave it to the professionals, right?
Yeah, and they do a wonderful job. All right, we'll be right back after we hear from our sponsors.
Sounds good.
The Crane Room is a restaurant. The Crane Room is a bar. The Crane Room is a banquet facility. The restaurant will please you time after time with their diverse menu. Ask about their daily specials. See the menu at craneroom.com. The bar gives you an abundance of choices with 35 beers on tap and always changing. Their banquet services are always to perfection. The Crane Room, located at 3009 Wilmington Road in Neshannock Township. Call 724-656-1553.
Joshua Sun Rehabilitation Center. From the moment you arrive, you know that you're in the right place. Dr. John Wrightson listens first. He pays attention to detail and then makes the determination. Joshua Sun Rehabilitation. We make the pain go away.
Welcome back to Focus NC on NCTV45. This is host Matthew Geiger with Mr. DeCola from Zambelli Fireworks. How you doing? And
Doing very good, thank you.
we're here talking about Zambelli's, a home industry of Newcastle. You know, one of the for people outside of Newcastle, Pennsylvania, maybe you don't realize it, but all these big shows, Zambelli's, you hear that name all over the world. Started in Newcastle, stays in Newcastle. And I'm holding, well, I think it's a firework. It looks like an innocent little tube, but I heard if I light this thing up, we're going to have a bit of an issue.
You would if it was real. This is definitely just a replica that kind of gives our you know, we take it to trade shows. We give our local folks kind of an idea on how everything works. And you know, obviously what you have here is sort of a 60 millimeter. If you could hold that, I'll kind of give them an explanation. You have the 60 millimeter. Normally this is like a Roman candle. You would have it set up and secured, maybe 2 or 3. And have this basically handle a different number of effects. Obviously right here you could see there's 5 different effects that are going to go off. So it's going to have 5 different shots of whatever type of effect it would be, whether it's a brocade crown or a bombette or a corset. Just basically the wick's going to come down, light your time fuse, send everything up one by one, and you're going to have the break, and that allows us to put some different special effects into our shows. And obviously this being a very big candle, it's going to create a big effect with a lot of noise.
You wouldn't want to hold this like a regular.
This is not a hold, no. You want to definitely set it up safely and back away, right?
Now these little pellets. Now, what do they hold in there that give them the color? Do they?
Basically, this is a type of gas that constitutes the color.
Oh, it's a gas.
Yeah, it's essentially like it could be you know, a copper or a magnesium. It's all inside that star, and as it burns off, and the way that gas burns off is the color of the firework you see.
Okay, I'd imagine the copper would be green.
Different colors for different types,
maybe
different
you can't
types of
tell
metal
us.
compositions. That's correct.
Okay, and would gold be pink?
Gold would be, I don't know, I can't tell you the exact metallic composition of gold.
Oh, okay.
I don't know that it would be
well,
pink.
the pink color, yeah. I'm just thinking because I know the micro, or the what you call the nano particles of gold actually are actually pink color when you use them in stained glass windows. So
we'll have to put you in our chemical department.
Yeah.
We'll get you started there.
It would be interesting.
Yeah, right.
But so the fireworks now, you have a local office here, 30, 40 people, and
Yes.
they're the full-time staff.
Yep, those are our full-time staff. We also, of course, in addition to our office location here in Newcastle, we have our plant in Edinburgh right outside the city, right basically still within city limits. You know, the plant has, you know, another 15 to 20 full-time.
What do you guys do at the plant?
The plant is just basically, that's basically all of our inventory. All of our production-related issues start and finish at the plant before they go out the door. Whether it's the building of, you know, whether it's the building of each show, the packing of each show, bringing in all of our transportation, trucking. You know, the plant does just a number of different things to prepare for each show as it happens. They'll get an order. They then have to pack the order according to what's involved. We have different buildings that are stored with each different type of inventory. So you might have one show, but maybe 10 to 12 different buildings that show is packed from.
Yeah.
You know, and then the guys bring all the supplies together that would need to go on a truck to shoot the show, whether it's the lumber or the tools necessary to shoot the show, the electrical equipment, the firing equipment.
Huh.
All that stuff out there is the job of our plant facility, and the number of guys out there that work very, very hard, and a lot of times in the summer, very hot conditions to make a show, to get a show packed and ready to go.
Hot and gunpowder and
It's a lot of heavy work, a lot of heavy lifting.
You got to be very careful.
You got to be
imagine your
very
safety
professional.
regulations are very
The safety regulations are there's more regulations every year, but it's important to be safe. So we definitely make sure that we're in accordance with all those different regulations that are passed, whether it's through the ATF, DOT, state regulations.
I'm sure you guys are very appreciative of it, because the last thing you need is a competitor forcing you to be kind of lackadaisical in that stuff because you know what happens if you don't.
Yeah. You want to stay out of the local news media when anything like that happens. So it's really important to us. And we we just had a fabulous year so far over the 4th of July. It just very smooth. Everything was very safe. Very proud of our guys. Everybody took proper precautions, communicated effectively, and Zambelli was just, we were thrilled. I mean, we were thrilled with the season so far, and obviously, long way to go in the busy season, but so far so great, and we're just very excited about the shows upcoming this weekend, and just a lot of things going on right now, keeping it busy.
Yeah, and so summer, obviously the 4th of July is big.
Yeah.
Now,
very big.
I can understand that you guys don't do the DC shows anymore.
The Washington D.C. show, essentially you're right. We haven't done it in years. It requires just a number of licensed technicians. The crew size just involved, it's just a little too demanding. Whereas if we were to do that show, we may have to cut back 2 or 3 large city shows that we currently do.
Okay.
And that's
so
another
maybe
thing.
DC got a little bit too regular.
I think they have to be.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they, it's obviously Washington D.C. They go a little bit. They have to go a little bit above and beyond to to keep everything safe there.
Okay, so I'm just saying, Washington, you should really get back to the Zambellis here because they're amazing, and they're safe. They're safe. You guys aren't between you and Pyrotechnico, you guys are very. You don't undercut each other, slash each other.
Right. We try to be good neighbors, and we understand the laws of competition, and they're going to win some, we're going to win some, and in the end, we really hope that just everybody does everything safely. And just everybody has a good time enjoying the fireworks.
Well, I have always talked about on the Washington Outsider, the other show I do, about how there's such a thing as healthy competition and then just destructive competition. I just wanted to bring that out here. Well, we have to hear from our local sponsors, and we'll be right back in just a minute.
Thanks again.
All right, thank you.
The Cedars is a great restaurant with outstanding Mediterranean food. The Cedars takeout menu is second to none, featuring pizza, stromboli, hoagies, their famous lamb on the rod, and so much more. So when you're hungry and you want that Newcastle taste, make it Cedars. Now with 2 locations in Newcastle, 827 Addis Street on the east side and 1101 Highland Avenue. Call Cedars East 724-658-9260 or Cedars North 724-652-7657.
If you're craving hot dogs and more, and you're in the area, then look no farther than Coney Island, downtown Newcastle on Kennedy Square.
Welcome back to Focus NC on NCTV45. This is host Matthew Geiger, and we're joined here today by Zambelli.
Glad to be here.
An original Newcastle industry. In fact, they're the reason why this is the firework capital of the world. Well, America, but they like to say the world. I mean, I like to think of it too. So. Maybe China has more, but you know what? That's not fair because they have like a 5,000-year history on you to start on. And I think you've done pretty good catching up to them. But you're a part of the community, and let's talk about how you're how you're invested in the community.
Well, Zambelli's been obviously part of Newcastle from the start. And I think I mentioned previously just the number of employees that go into the show from Newcastle. It's very important to us to be alive and well in the community, to keep the city strong, and especially as far as fireworks go. We want to make sure that we carry that same enthusiasm and community enrichment to keep Zambelli part of people's minds, to know that that we want to keep actively moving forward to use the community's resources and benefit the community back with the number of services that we provide, whether it's locally, statewide, or nationally. It still benefits Newcastle. It's still a very nice thing to have the Zambelli name coming from Newcastle. I think it's very, just as a citizen in Newcastle, it's really nice to know that, hey, we have a company, two companies that are out there that are doing great shows, providing entertainment all over the world, and I think that's really important and something Newcastle can be proud of.
And I know we talked about competition a little bit, but in the world, free trade, all this stuff, everyone's worried about. You see a lot of outsourcing going on, a lot of insourcing, this a lot of moving around for tax breaks, but Zambelli's is committed to the community. I mean,
Sure.
this is your company is a great example of ownership that feels like they own part of the community, that they're an integral part of it.
That's correct.
That this is their home.
That's correct. I mean, every company has to consider movement here to try to make things work differently. We've always been, this is Newcastle and beyond. We're here in Newcastle, and we're going to continue working and keeping our company our corporate headquarters here in Newcastle, our main plant facility in Newcastle, and hey, it's not the middle of the country. It's not the middle of the country, but it still keeps us in a really good area to outsource all the different businesses we do, whether it's in Florida, the Western United States. It's still important to us to be centered in Newcastle and stay very active in the community.
Well, I think it's very heartening in what's now become known as the Rust Belt, which, I've always said, from Pittsburgh up to Meadville to Erie, this whole region was the original breadbasket of innovation. It was the first, before there was Silicon Valley, there was Northwestern Pennsylvania. You have all kinds of innovation in here, all kinds of from oil, like I said, I'm from Crawford County, where, Titusville, I lived 10 miles where the first commercial oil drill was, drilled. And you have Meadville, where, you had the zipper being manufactured, something
Right,
silly. And you have all this tool and die. You have Pittsburgh, obviously. You have Erie.
Right.
These communities of innovation. And to hear a company doing well and able to stay in here, it's something as, that you could easily move, and who wouldn't want fireworks,
Sure.
I mean, it's just very heartening, I think, to the community that the attitude is we're committed to, we're part of the community.
That's correct.
And I think that's, and maybe it has to do with some of the ownership, the owners of Zambelli's, but I think that's an attitude that should probably be mirrored, that if you make an effort to stay, to support your community, then you can do it.
That's correct. And when you think of Western Pennsylvania in general, in Pittsburgh, you think of a very blue-collar, hard-working town. And I'd like to say that Zambelli Fireworks is molded out of that. I mean, we are always, it's a hard-working business. It's a hard-working job. The people that are committed to being pyrotechnicians or project managers or basically any drivers, anything in the company, it's hard work. It's blue-collar hard work to put this stuff together and to do so in a very creative and innovative manner.
Do you find your people don't just work for their paycheck? They work because they believe in the company?
This company is definitely founded upon that we want to be part of something special. We want to be part of something great and creative, that we can put our name to it. And there's a lot of times when you got people that are asked to, hey, we need you back on this shift. We need you to do this. We need you to do that. It's never a question. It's always, how can we get the job done? How can we get the job done better? And I think that's what makes Zambelli and the city of Newcastle synonymous for hard work and success. And I think that's an important building block.
So they're not just working for a paycheck. They're working
They're working for the love of the company and the
and you find
Zambelli community.
And you find treating your employees like they're a member of a family.
That's right. That's
how
right.
you do that.
Family-based company. We want everybody to feel that they're a member of our family, everybody that works for us, our friends, our family, all of our customers. We like to kind of keep that family mentality. We like to support them and treat them as such.
And that's kind of the business perspective that I've always respected, is the ones that don't just like, oh, this guy's here to do my work for me. I pay him so I can do whatever I want to him. He, instead, and I'm sure if one of your employees had an issue, you'd be out there trying to help them if their family had a problem, and that's just great in the,
Right. Our phone lines, several people in the company, our phone lines are on 24/7. Emergency hotlines, whatever it is, if someone's out there and they need us, we're going to be there for them.
That's good. That's really great. Let me just grab this here, one of our props. Zambelli's, the first family of fireworks.
That's us, yeah.
And is this about the company?
Great book. It's a summary of the Zambelli family and essentially how the organization started and how it's kind of proceeded through the generations, and even a few food recipes from Mrs. Zambelli are in there. So it
Fourth
really
of
is
July ones, I hope.
it's a great book. It really is. It's a good read for anybody that's interested in the company, interested in Zambelli.
Okay. Do you have anything else you'd like to share about how Zambelli works with the community or anything?
Well, I guess just in the end here as we wrap up, just thank you so much. We're excited about working and staying in Newcastle and doing a great job at any program we can to help out the community and keep it running strong.
Okay. All right. Well, this has been Focus NC with Zambelli Fireworks, and we're proud to have them here in Newcastle. To be,
Absolutely. Proud to be here.
All over the world. This is a global industry, and they believe in Newcastle. So
thank you for having me. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right.
This has been Focus NC on NCTV45. I'm host Matthew Geiger, and here with Mr. DeCola from Zambelli Fireworks International, right?
That's it.
And
thank you.
We're reporting here from the firework capital of America. Well, we'll just say the world.
There you go.
Thank you.